Hello everybody, it's tomato season again and I've been busy potting up some tomatoes that I purchased from Bunnings. I don't know about you, but for some reason this season my seeds just won't take, so I decided to buy a couple of punnets from Bunnings and I was busy potting those up today. Now I thought what I might do is show you how to clone your tomatoes. I've got some other cherry tomatoes that I planted earlier and I'm going to clone them. So these are, you know, in between the leaves you get that little growth that comes in the center. Well, this is those little growths, and I've actually taken them off and I've popped them in water for a couple of weeks. Now a lot of them are starting to get roots, and also see these little bumps along here? They're actually the beginning of roots. I don't know if you can see or not, but along here are very, very fine little hairs, and they will actually develop into roots on the tomato plant. So what I'm going to do with this one, this great big leaf here, will take a lot of energy out of this particular cutting, so I'm just going to snip it off. And I'll take this one off as well. Now I've just got a chopstick that I use. It's just a plastic chopstick and I use this as a dibber. You don't just push the tomato plant in because you'll bruise or damage all these hairs. So put it in, twirl it around, put your tomato in and just gently press the potting mix around it. And there's one done. Make sure you label it. This one was the yellow cherry. And the date on the back. There we go, and that one's done. Now with the other ones, what I will do is, as these will develop on the other tomatoes that I'm going to be using for tomato sauce or passata, because I like to make all of my own, as you know. I will turn those into proper tomato plants just like I've done with this one, and they'll be planted out in the bed that I'm in the process of preparing now. And that's how I'll get 20 or 30 tomato plants for less than $4. It's a good way of saving a bit of money, and that way all your tomatoes won't all come in to season all at once, and you won't get a huge big overload of tomatoes all in one go and get overloaded. There we go, we'll snip that one off and see if down the bottom, I don't know whether you can see or not, these little roots that are just starting to happen. Now this will take off fairly quickly. I'll just keep the water up to it for a few days and it'll be off. There we go. It's got a little bend at the bottom, so just make sure it's sitting in there properly. And if you can bury it deeply, these will be potted up one more time into a larger pot. And what I do there is I snip off the bottom leaves and I bury it as deep as I can, because as I said, all these little hairs will become roots and they will make a much stronger plant that will produce really well. See, this one, it's a bit curved in the bottom. That's alright, doesn't matter. Just make a bigger hole. I forgot to cut that bottom one off. We don't need all that excess energy trying to feed that great big leaf, but you still need to leave a leaf or two so that it has proper photosynthesis. So here's another one. So I don't know what's happened to all the seeds that I've planted. I'll probably have a whole heap of tomatoes coming up at a later date when the weather gets a bit warmer. I think it was the cold weather that's knocked them back a fair bit. But I've planted about 4 packets of seeds, and I think I've got about half a dozen seedlings that have actually come up. I think it was the snap of cold weather sort of buggered them up a bit. There we go. I've got about 13 of these to do, so I'll leave you with it, and that's how you clone your tomatoes. Enjoy.